Hi, Aquarius, or anyone watching for Aquarius. I'm pulling some cards for a general and a love reading. If this doesn't resonate at the moment, just give it some time. These can go out till December. Bottom of your deck, Chariot, Queen of Cups. So you are in a good place. I feel like you're following your intuition about a situation in your life because you are tired of feeling frustrated. It seems like you guys have a tendency to suffer future worries or hurts. Like maybe you anticipate the things that could go wrong. I feel like you are deciding you want to really be a full-time player in your life, regardless of your insecurities or your fears. So I love that for you guys. You know, for some of you, maybe you're having like a quarter or a midlife, I don't want to use the word crisis, but it's like you're evaluating your life and where you've been, some of the choices that you feel like you should have made differently. But what's really good about this is even though you're cognizant of the regrets that you may have, you're very optimistic about the opportunities that are available for you. So very, very good energy. Could be that because we're moving towards the end of the year, you're starting to kind of contemplate your New Year's resolutions early. It could also be that some things in your environment are changing. And so you're thinking more along the lines of like, what do I want for myself? So perhaps you have children here that are moving, or like this is their last year in high school or something, and they're looking at going abroad for college or moving out of state. It could be too that you're having more stability in your life because I'm seeing the possibility of like a new employment opportunity, whether that's something that you're scouting out or that you've previously taken recently. You could be seeing your financial status change enough to allow you some room to go back and do some of the things that maybe you weren't able to do in the past. For some of you, you could be just thinking about like, you're not happy where you are location wise, because there's something here about looking into maybe like where you'd want to live if you saved money or feeling like you need to get up and do something new. So I like this a lot because I feel like you're getting really in touch with what you want. Unfortunately, your obstacle is the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So the obstacle here is you guys, and kind of feeling like you may not be able to accomplish some of these bigger dreams or things that you've been contemplating lately. This talks a lot about self-doubt, so I want you guys to be very, very careful about moving into a space where you get excited about something and then all of a sudden that critical inner voice kicks in of like, well, you couldn't do this because of that, or remember last time you tried this, it didn't work, right? This is really kind of talking about you guys being your worst enemy. And I don't like that for you because it feels like with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Seven of Wands in the past, this is a reoccurring theme for you guys. You may have a tendency of talking yourselves out of things before you even try them, right? And what I'm seeing here is that in the past, you've done that so much that you've actually blocked a lot of your success in your life. And so you may be looking at things now and being like, wow, I don't have the relationship I want, or I never went after that degree that I wanted, or I got that degree but didn't use it to get the job I wanted because I wasn't sure if I was, good enough or if I was going to be successful, right? For some of you, this could come from having somebody in your life who's very negative or very critical of you. You could have had a family member growing up that had very unrealistic expectations of who you should be, or you have friends that you feel like are kind of condescending towards you. I feel like anything that you haven't acted upon, you still have time, right? So try not to move into that space of becoming your own worst critic or sabotaging yourself, because with this Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse, that doesn't mean that the opportunities aren't available to you. It just means that you're going to have to decide, like, what part of yourself are you going to listen to, right? Are you going to listen to that cheerleader or that coach that's like, hey, you can do it? Or are you going to listen to that inner critic that's very condescending and shuts you down before you even have an opportunity to get, moving in the direction that you want? Now, when I'm looking at what you've got going on versus what the universe has going on, this is a bit tricky because it feels like you're making some plans right now. You haven't taken action on them yet. There's also something I feel like that perhaps you're working on that you haven't shown the world yet. And it could be that you're a little bit worried about how people will take it. So maybe you're creating something that you want to put out there, but you're feeling a little bit nervous. It feels like for some reason you're very hesitant. Okay. I think that I'm going to pull a card for your environment because this could be family. Maybe you don't feel like your family is going to support you. Yeah, it feels like in your environment, you've got people that are not, either they have a tendency to not recognize how hard you work or how much you do, or to not support you when you talk about something you want to do. So that could be part of why you're just kind of like not making this big move yet. But there's also an energy here of being concerned that if you make this move, it's not going to work. And I think that's because it possibly could involve other people and you're not sure what people are going to do. So I don't know, is your success dependent on someone else is almost what this looks like. It seems like you have an idea that you're kind of thinking about proposing, but you're not sure how to go about getting it out there, letting people know this thing because you feel like maybe it won't be received well, or maybe they'll question the source. Like, well, what would you know about relationships when you haven't had one work out? How could you be a relationship coach? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's something here where I feel like you have experience that you're considering utilizing, but maybe because you haven't had success in that area of your life, you might feel like you're not qualified, right? And I don't think that's true. You know what I mean? You got to think about it. Like, I always kind of joke, like coaches don't play, right? Teachers often teach, but they're not in the field actually, doing the thing anymore, right? Sometimes the best experience is bad experience because you can show people what not to do, so I wouldn't discount what you're bringing to the table just yet. There's an energy here. It's almost like, I don't know if you're waiting for someone else to give you some kind of sign or clue about what they're doing or what they want, but it's not coming, and I don't think that it's going to come. I feel like you're going to have to take a risk on this because the universe wants you guys to follow your heart. It's almost like you're being called to have to face your fears right now. So you might not be getting a lot to go on from your environment because you're supposed to be checking in with yourself and not considering what other people want. You get what I'm saying? So like, say you have an idea for a class, right? And you're having trouble finding anybody that's created a class that's similar, so you can't read reviews. You might be feeling like, wow, I'm having a really hard time getting information about whether or not this would even be popular. Well, that's because the universe wants you to step out and go after what you want, regardless of what the outcome may or may not be. You get what I'm saying? And so it's scary because it's like you're not getting the reassurance that you would want, right? Like, oh, this is going to be necessary or people are going to enjoy this. It's almost like you're having to be blind, right? There's something here that's missing that you don't have all the information. And it feels like if you wait, you're not going to get the information. So let's pull an advice card for you because I feel like this is interesting. This is like the universe wanting you to follow your passion or to like get in touch with your higher self in such a way that it doesn't matter what the outcome of the action will be. It's just so aligned with who you are and what you want. And oftentimes, Aquarius, you guys are really cool because you have this thing about you where you're like very, very different thinkers, right? You think so outside of the box that you guys have these like really revolutionary ideas. But I feel like with the Aquarius people that I know, even though they're so creative, they're so smart, they're analytical, and they have all these like really interesting things to bring to the table, they may not feel like it'll be received well. So they like dim their light, right? Or maybe you're looking to see like, oh, well, nobody else takes photos like this, so I'm not gonna, right? But that could be the thing that like completely pops and turns you into like the next whatever. You get what I mean? Because it's so authentic. It's so originally you, and no one can replicate it, or no one can do it the way that you do it, or has even thought to do it that way. Right. But it sucks because it's like, you guys are the inventors, you're the creators. And then when people around you aren't like on that level, you take it more as like, oh, what I'm doing isn't important, versus like, no, people just have never seen anything like this before. It's going to be amazing when I produce this thing, right? And I feel like that's what the universe wants for you. That's why you're not really getting kind of that like reassurance from your environment, because I don't feel like with the Queen of Swords in reverse being your obstacle, that you're around people that are as free thinking as you are. So you might have people that are quick to point out all the reasons why something couldn't work, versus being like, oh my God, that's a really different idea. I've never heard that before, right? As far as love, I feel like you want love, but I feel like the problem is this Queen of Swords in reverse. So it could be you, right? You could be kind of sabotaging your situation as far as like not going out, not meeting people. And again, this is interesting because it feels like the universe is not working to bring anybody into your life right now. It feels like you're going to have to make the choice to go off and do it, right? So it's weird because it feels like with love, you know, you could be ready for love, but you're actually going to have to somehow face your own fears around relationships and be proactive in like putting up that dating profile or going to that singles mixer or whatever, right? Before you're going to start attracting people into your life. But what I'll say about that is like, if you take one step towards what you want, the universe will take 20 steps towards you. You get what I mean? Queen of Cups, this could be somebody that is not you. For me, I think Aquarius does have a lot of cups energy, even though you guys are an air sign. But it is possible that you could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, and you feel like this person is very critical of you to the point that you're just getting kind of turned off, right, from this relationship. You could also be dealing with an air sign as well. But there's an energy here of feeling like nothing you do is good enough for this person. And so it feels like for the time being, you're not really making any moves towards them because you're trying to identify how much of what this person is saying is true. Like, okay, am I really that bad of a partner? Am I really that absent of a significant other? Did I really not listen to what they said to me last Tuesday? Or is this person looking at my actions through the lens of their disappointments with other partners? You get what I mean? This person might have kind of a weird love language, or they might not understand your love language. And so they could accuse you of not showing up, right? Not being what they need you to be. But you have been loving them the way that you know how. You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like you're kind of taking a step back and you're thinking about this like, you know, I don't feel like I'm particularly doing anything wrong, but everything I do seems to be irritating you. What's the problem here? You get what I mean? So I feel like if that's something that you're experiencing, this situation can be saved. But I think going forward, you might have to have like a real discussion about what this person perceives as like support or love, right? Because like say you're a gift giver and you're giving a bunch of presents, but then they have an attitude because they feel like you don't call or spend enough time. You get what I'm saying? So with the Knight of Cups being your advice, you probably want to have a discussion because I'm not seeing any swords here, right? And the only wands I'm seeing is you feeling like you're always being attacked and then kind of beginning to withdraw from the situation, right? And it could be that maybe you guys just are not compatible. You know, maybe that's why this is happening, is so that you can think about it and be like, is this what I want to deal with for the rest of my life? Maybe this isn't even a bad person, but we're just so different. Or we can't have this discussion, or after we had this discussion, it still feels like we don't gel, right? Maybe this isn't what I want to be committed to. You get what I'm saying? Now, I feel like your Wheel of Fortune is coming. I just feel like you have to get really clear about what works for you versus what other people seem to want you to be. You know, maybe some of you feel like you have to like tone down your quirkiness or not always speak your truth. And again, is that where you want to be for the rest of your life, where you're always kind of muting yourself, right? Because I'm seeing that you're already feeling a little bit attacked, you're feeling a little bit defensive, you're feeling kind of turned off from whatever this situation is. So now might be a good time for you to contemplate, like, have I just given so much to this that I don't care what this person's love language is? I don't care if we work it out, right? Either way, you have something really good coming for you. But you're going to have to decide if what you're dealing with is a situation where saving, so that if it's not, you can make room for something new. For those of you that are super single, I feel like you're going to have to face yourself, right? What parts of the story that you tell yourself are true and what parts are just totally blown out of proportion? Like, you're not a loser, you're not a bum, you're not a failure. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a slippery slope. Once we get in that feeling of like thinking about one bad thing about ourselves that we don't like, we pick ourselves apart. And then when we do that, we feel like crap. We don't think that there's anybody out there. We think we're going to be by ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So like, for you singles, maybe some self-love, right? With this Knight of Cups, go out and do things you enjoy that make you happy, regardless of who you meet or who's looking at you if you're out there dancing alone, right? And for those of you who are in a relationship, it's time to kind of figure out if this person is what's best for you and not if you're what's best for them, right? Let's get some love oracle messages for all of you. What do we got for my Aquarius signs? All right, forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. And you got reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Bottom of your deck says emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And that pertains to yourself as well, right? Or your partner, if they have a habit of punishing you for situations that you didn't even put them in because they're still mad at their last partner, you might need to give this person some space so that they can figure out, like, wow, that wasn't Aquarius that did that. That was actually so-and-so, right? All right, Aquarius, for your financial message, you got, it is safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. So, guys, like, where in your life are you blocking your blessings, right? Because with this Wheel of Fortune being the blockage, like the reversal of this, it's a blockage, right? Well, are you not taking action because you're afraid to put yourself in a situation where people praise you for that really cool idea that you keep telling yourself stinks? Or are you not taking action to get out of a relationship that sucks because you're afraid to have somebody come in and like love you for every part of you, right? It seems like you're in an environment where people are holding back from you. You're feeling triggered and you're feeling frustrated, but it might be time for you to just shift, to do something else, to give yourself permission to receive and to not keep trying to please people that it feels like are never happy, right? Let's get a self-care card for you. Nice. You got passion. Resurrect a childhood dream. Let your passion take flight. That's the thing. The universe wants you to build a life around your own original passions, your enthusiasms, your desires, right? It doesn't matter what other people think because it's not their life. You got love. Choose love. Let your love become a powerful force for change. So I feel like it's time for some changes, right? And sometimes people don't appreciate us until we're gone, and I'll just say it like that, not saying you guys should leave whoever you're with or whatever you're doing. But as you change, the people that love you are going to stick by you regardless, right? Wow. For your spirit message, you got self-employment. You are a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. So guys, whatever that idea is that you have, I would say go for it. Follow your passion. Don't so much worry about what other people have going on, right? Okay, Aquarius, this is your message. Thank you for allowing me to read for all of you, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.